Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on our hamster bedding bin that we have that has the African Nightcrawlers. Now, for those that have maybe only been watching this series, I did just start another bin with reds in it as well with this used hamster bedding. So we're going to be able to compare them slightly. Now, I don't want to say they're a direct comparison because I added more reds than I did ANCs, and also the red bin is just bigger. I'm using a bigger container for it. So I don't want these to be a direct comparison, but you'll give kind of an idea of how well they work. We're going to see how the ANCs are doing today, and we'll come back probably in another week or two and see how the reds are doing. As I said, these containers are different, so we can't really, it's not a direct comparison, but this will give you that clue. So with that, we have to remember that this has shredded like paper product that's actually for bedding. It's a hamster bedding, but it's not a cardboard that I shredded up. It's actually like a paper bedding. And then we have aspen shavings. And then of course, any leftover hamster food and then hamster waste. So right now, it seems like the ANCs have been running through it pretty well, at least the paper part of it. And there was quite a few castings last time. And I did decide to add a piece of plastic over the top to kind of contain that moisture a little bit. A lot too much of it was getting out. It was too dry. So we're coming back to that. Now, also, if you remember, the first time we opened this up, there was a massive fruit fly infestation. So I do have another spray here. I actually have some neem oil that I could put on if we still see anything like that in here. I still have the bug light right over it, and that seems to be working. I'm not seeing a lot of bugs in it, just a few here and there, but hopefully this will be enough to just kind of contain it if it still has an issue. With that, let's go and take a look at this system and see how it's doing. All right, so here is the bed. That was the last update we did, was on 9/13. Today is the 22nd. So 9 days, and just so you can see here on the top, hopefully you can see that, but this says 8/19. That's when we started it. So we're a little over a month into this now. And from there, we're going to see how well we can get this working. So let's just take a look inside. First off, I'm not seeing any activity over the edges or anything like that. I'm not seeing like trails coming over. So I'm hoping that means that the worms aren't leaving this system. I do see one mite just over here in this corner. And just so you know, I am using the left glove. So this glove is only for my hamster bedding bins. Moisture on the top here. I don't know if you can see it through the bubble wrap here. But there was some moisture on the top. So it looks like that's holding in the moisture much better than it was before. I'm just going to put this off to the side. And you can see that this is nice and wet. And there's our first worm right over here. That's going back down in the corner. Actually, just turn these lights up just a little bit so we can get a little bit more light in here. There we go. That might be a little better. So, first worm peeking up over there. I'm just going to remove this as well. This feels nice and soft. Up a whole bunch of activity. I saw a whole bunch of worms move as I was pulling this up. I was trying to be careful not to spill a bunch of stuff, but I'm going to put this off to the side now. And now let's just take a quick look through here. As you can see, the worms look nice and healthy, and we're seeing a lot, and I mean a whole lot of castings in here. I mean, like, you could tell that these are not all shavings, and they are definitely a lot of castings in here. Now, there could be some, I just saw it, just fell out of my hand, but there's a piece of plastic, it looks like, and actually you can see it right here pretty well. You see those blue chunks? Let me see if I can focus on that. There we go. Those blue chunks are pieces of plastic from the bin itself, not this bin, the hamster bin. Unfortunately, there were some pieces of plastic in there that he decided were chew toys. They weren't supposed to be, but he thought that they were, and was chewing them apart. Worms look pretty healthy. Not quite as active as sometimes I've seen them, but they're also, there's not nearly as much food in here probably as they're used to. But you can see that they're really starting to move through this stuff. Oh, here we go. This is our first tiny worm in here. So that's a younger worm. Again, let me see if I can get this to focus. This camera's not focusing quite as well. This is a smaller one. This is a baby, which was probably hatched in here over the last month. So with that, we're doing pretty good as far as hopefully getting these to multiply. There's a fruit fly on the side there. I'm not seeing too many others though in here for fruit flies, which is a good thing. But this looks a little dry. But other than that, this is looking pretty good. They're really starting to move through this material. I mean, you can see, like, there's a lot of castings in here. A whole lot of them. I mean, these are really kind of working well. Again, sorry that this isn't focusing. I don't know why the camera's not focusing just on the center. I thought I'd told it to focus there, and it's not doing that every time. It keeps trying to go to my glove or the bin. But you can see, I mean, like they're nice healthy worms in here. They're moving around. Little dry though on the sides. They haven't really touched this piece right here. Oop, there's a huge one on my glove. Look at that guy. You can just see there's quite a few in here. They're nice and big and healthy. Hopefully we'll get more out of here. Actually, there's even more on this side over here. It looks like they're starting to work on this corner. Let's just see if we can get this in focus here. Look at this. Look at that. They are really working on these corners. And there's a whole lot of them in here. So they're doing a really good job. I'm really impressed with this. Now, I do have these next to my other A and C bins, but I figure that's fine. If they get into this bin, that's fine. If they get out of this bin, that's okay too, even though I'm using this other glove for this system. If they're moving that way, I figure anything that they're bringing over with them is going to pass through the gut of a worm and should be safe. I'm using a separate glove and everything just in case. This is, it's just a precaution on my side. I highly recommend that you also be careful whenever you're working with animal waste. That you be careful. We can see there's a lot of worms. They're really liking these corners right now. But it does look like the shavings are still holding up, but all the paper bedding might be gone. I don't have any other bedding I can add, by the way, to this for hamster bedding. But they are chewing through this material quite quickly. And hopefully we'll see some younger worms quickly sprout up in here too, just like we saw. I'm hoping to see that in my other systems as well. I don't know what that is right there. It almost looks like a piece of paper or something, but anyhow. But it looks like they're doing a good job. It looks like this is quickly being turned into castings. We'll see how well they can get through these shavings. That's the real question. I think I am going to take off my glove and add a little bit of water to here just to add some more moisture, even though there was moisture on that lid. I've got my sprayer here. We're just going to spray a little bit, not a whole lot, just kind of get a little extra moisture in here. Just to make sure there's enough in here, because you don't want to have it dry out. Having it dry out would be really, really bad. So we're just going to add some more. Get the sides nice and wet. Get the center section. As I said, I'm not seeing any fruit flies really in here. I don't know if we really need the neem oil at this point, which I bought just recently to try that out with some fruit flies. But since there's nothing in here, I'm not going to just spray it for no reason. But look at that. All right, there we go. I think that's good. Now let's put the little piece of cardboard we have back on the top, which gives them another food source, I figured. This piece of packaging right here, I figured that this would be a really good thing for them to also kind of munch on if they run out of cardboard and they're still waiting for other stuff to break down. And then our plastic over top. I think the plastic was a key addition to this. I think this was drying out too much before. And this does leave a little bit of a gap along the entire edge on the outside. So that way they can still get some air in there, but it keeps that moisture in while letting that air flow in and out. So that's our update. I will update this date to the 22nd so we can have that correct date on there. So I'll update that date. And that's it for this update. If you have any other questions on this, please let me know. Or if you're curious to see how they're doing in a couple weeks, make sure you follow and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.